Hey, how's it going, guys? Let me know if you can hear me okay. We will be switching to the Operational Art of War 4 screen very soon, and I think we're probably going to be playing one of the World War II Pacific missions. Well, there you go. You're going to hear me doubling over because I've got the video on here as well. And yeah, I would love to do some, well, any of the new releases, but of course we need to wait to get confirmation, and then of course we will try to stream them as soon as possible. Awesome. Suvadi audio is fine. Perfect, perfect, guys. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Um, Give me 1 second. And the other thing, Muso, I think we can probably just do it over Skype. We've got to add the chat options, maybe for the next stream, so the guys here can start seeing the sheep again. I'm pretty sure I could just figure it out. Okay, I gotta set my alarm for tomorrow. Alright, so guys, we've got about 3 minutes until the stream. Feel free to gamble some slits, obviously. We're going to probably be playing, like I said, the Pacific Theater of World War II, but if you guys have any suggestions, drop them down below. I do want to let you guys know that certain battles, like Iwo Jima, I believe, actually no, Guadalcanal, are play-by-email only battles, and that's basically because the AI in those battles really hasn't been developed, so it's essentially up to another player to be able to, control the other side and fight you. If you fight against the AI in those battles, you're going to win every single time. I like the baby face that Muso did. Okay, guys, so we're going to jump in now, and I think the battle I'm probably going to be playing, one of these smaller battles, probably, the Coral Sea is a really good battle as well, but again, this is mostly focused on naval combat, and I'm not really trying to focus on that right now. Let's take a look here. Now, Pearl Harbor would be cool, but I know I'll be crushed. And this is 50 turns, Luzon. So I think I'm going to go for Iwo Jima. I mean, just about everybody knows about the Battle of Iwo Jima that studied World War II, and we're going to be attacking as the Americans. This is, of course, a very, very bloody battle, and no, I don't want to play as both sides. I'm going to go ahead and play as the Americans. So here we go, guys. This is mainly a battle that the United States Marine Corps fought. That's really the main significance of the battle in terms of, who got the most prestige out of it, essentially. So here we go. Now, as you guys can see, this version is compatible with the older version of the Operational Art of War 4, or 3, I should say. But both are excellent games, and really, most of the missions in the original game were good enough to port over to this one. So that being said, we're going to have to move forward. Our force proficiency is not great, 75%. It's really not that great at all. And we are now storming the beaches here. So we want to go ahead and get that done quickly. First thing I'm going to do is board a ship with the entire group here. And I kind of want to take this group to Mount Suribachi. Ooh, we're already getting hit by enemy planes. That's surprising, actually. And actually, no, it's an enemy gun, so I'll actually attack here on the beach, why not? Come on, boys. Man, they're getting hit hard. I'm really surprised by the amount of enemy artillery, but of course, on Iwo Jima, a lot of the artillery was pretty much hidden, and very hard to see. That's definitely the case here. We also have to keep in mind that on this particular battle, there's only a few places where we're going to get any supplies at all, and one of them, of course, is the or these port areas. We can get supplies from there, but even that's going to be pretty difficult. Let's also go ahead and get the entire group of tanks on the ship here. And start taking out these coastal guns. It looks like we might have to wait with this unit. Okay, so we're going to have to go ahead and land here on the beach. And I'm definitely taking the entire group here and going to get them to attack this coastal defense battery. Let's go ahead, plan an attack here, and look at all the air support we have. So initially, the air support, on Iwo Jima was monumental. You know, the Marines bombed it so badly initially that they thought they killed everybody on the island. Of course, once they got inland, they saw that wasn't the case. There were a complex series of tunnels here on Iwo Jima, a lot of different places where the Japanese could hide, and ultimately, they showed the Americans that they absolutely still had a fight left in them. Now, I think I want to go straight for Mount Suribachi. That's a huge, huge take there, and it's actually got a garrison there. They're not trying to hide themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and move another unit up here. And I think I'll keep the engineers behind. And we're going to go ahead and attack. And sure enough, looks like we managed to take Mount Suribachi with a pretty small fight. So of course, that glorious picture of the flag being raised above Iwo Jima, that's happening right now, right here. Very nice. Although they could, of course, retake it pretty easily here. Let's go ahead and board the ship, entire group. Once again, getting hit by the enemy artillery. They've got some really good artillery here in the game. And here on the island. There we go. Okay, I want to keep on taking, hopefully, the airfield. So let's do a single unit move. And of course, there's going to be infantry there by the airfield. We've got to do as much as we can to get some men over there. But I think it's going to take a while. So I'm not going to attack right now, and there's a lot of infantry there. The 145th Infantry Regiment. They are not to be trifled with. Come on, entire group, board the ships. Ooh, we just got hit by a nasty strike there. Keep on moving. Another nasty strike. This is not an indefensible island. The Japanese have a lot of hidden guns here. And that's why we have to head north. We've got to find these guns. So obviously, they're going to be up here near the airfields. Wow. Get on land, boys. Even getting on land, they're getting shot at. Let's go ahead and group move. And now, of course, we could probably actually lead an attack here. Sure enough, managed to break through, but now we're surrounded. So I'm going to plan an attack against this engineer squad. And of course, we're sending in the Marines. We're also sending in some artillery units. And we'll try to get some air support as well as some naval support. I don't know. Our chances aren't looking very good up here, I must say. Up here by the ridge. Wish we had some reinforcements, but I think that's all we're going to get. And let's go ahead and end the turn. Turn it over to the Imperial Japanese Army. Got to get to Charlie Dog Ridge. Now remember that the Japanese will fight to the very end. They're not simply going to give up. Looks like we got a great attack here, but for some reason, there was absolutely nothing happen on these other attacks, which is a bit strange. And you can see there are some pretty serious Japanese losses. We did all right. Of course, we lost a few men too, but you're going to lose a few companies on Iwo Jima one way or another. There's really no way to avoid that. And we might have to wait till next turn before we can start moving these guys even more. I do want to keep probably one unit at Mount Suribachi. It is probably the most valuable location we have. And let's go ahead and attack the airfield. Now we can get incredibly good support for the attack on the airfield, and I'm hoping that makes all the difference essentially. Here we go. In fact, if I could bring more men up for the attack on the airfield, I will, but I'm not sure we're able to. No! Plan an attack. Let's try that again. Okay, so we're bringing in the artillery. We've already got this unit coming in. I've brought in all of the support I can get. Chances of success are poor, but you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't know how that applies here, but it's going to apply somehow. We've got to go for the attack. And actually, we could take some of these units and go ahead and attack as well. Ooh, already getting hit. Okay, they can't seem to spot the Japanese enemy. Let's go ahead and end the turn. And I actually want the Japanese to take their turn, because that means we can start to make our move. So we've got tanks on this attack, but remember, they're really well dug in during this battle. So they might be able to hold out. And as you can see, we did really well, believe it or not. We didn't manage to take the area, but you can see we did a lot of damage to the defender. But they've still got plenty of men left. Actually destroying quite a lot of units here. But what they're trying to do is just make us take, you know, a very long time to take these points. If we can't take these points in time, we're going to lose the battle. It's that simple. So it's a waiting game. Tremendous artillery there. I'm just amazed by the arty. And I see all the arty back there on Hill 302A, I believe it is. So if we can get to the artillery and destroy it, we're going to do a lot better. As you can see right here, this is actually friendly, actually refers to the Japanese attacking. So if we take a look here at the attacker, you can see, look at this. They tried to attack us, and these were their losses. So significant losses for the enemy, basically losing an entire light rifle army. And we only lost, well, we had damage done to 13 aircraft carriers. Not great, but, you know, we're fine. So basically they tried to attack an aircraft carrier with infantry units. Not the best idea in the world. Okay. U.S. flag flies from Suribachi and the Marines weep. Okay, I think the Marines would probably have something to say about that. They probably didn't weep much, but fair enough. Let's try and get these guys over here. And what I want to do is I want to take that point right there on the beach. Yeah, getting onto the beaches here is really tough. There's only 2 tiles that allow you to actually move in this area. All right, let's move this single unit. And I already see some anti-tank groups here. So I want to try to get some infantry to assist with this attack. Nice. And some engineer squads, guys. So we can get up to the Charlie Dog Hill area and get behind the enemy. We'd be flanking them. That would work out pretty well. Let's see if we can do this. Plan an attack. A lot of enemies up here actually defending the area. But I feel like our Marines can break through, especially if we give them all this naval support. And the naval support was key, so was the air support in this battle, obviously taking out a large number of defenders. I don't know the exact stats, but I'm sure the history buffs in the stream can find out how many tons of explosives were dropped on Iwo Jima. For such a small island, it was a pretty incredible number. Let's move forward. We're going to try to take the airfield. Beautiful. Airfield's under our control. It's another major point. And I guess we just keep moving forward with an attack. So over here, we'll go ahead and start moving forward. Now, unfortunately, these units aren't going to have a lot of cover. So their chances are going to be very poor, apparently. Although we've seen that before and still managed to do just fine. So, especially if I bring these guys in, maybe we could change those chances a bit. These guys are fresh off the boat. And we do have a little bit of support there. Get a few more Marines. Chances of success are excellent against this force. So I think we can break through. Obviously, I want to get to Charlie Dog Hill as well, but I'll basically wait for that. And we want to wipe out the Japanese over here, so we don't even have to worry about them retaking Mount Suribachi. There we go. I wonder if I should go scouting for enemy. Sure, why not? Okay, and we'll also go ahead and board ships with this unit as well. Let's do that. Group move. Oh, it's good to be on land, even though it is Iwo Jima, not the greatest land in the world. And it is pretty much an inhospitable island anyway. It's really not a place you'd want to go for vacation, unless you're a war buff like me. Okay, I think we can just keep those guys on the attack. These guys that just dropped in, they can wait a bit, but we have a few more guys that need to board some ships. So let's see, an artillery company. Oh, just an artillery company. Fair enough. Gotta treat everybody equally, so we'll move them up. Here we can greatly change our chances. Here we go. Well, not really. But let's see how it goes, guys. Okay, here we go. We're going to end the turn. Nice. I believe Charlie Dog Hill is under our control here. Looking pretty good. I mean, it looks like they're retreating off all these important junctures, and if we can move forward and take out the arty behind them, I mean, I think we've won. So we'll have to wait and see, though. We shouldn't get too excited because the men on Iwo Jima thought they were winning, and suddenly the Japanese launched some major counterattacks. As you can see here, we did really, really well. So if we look at the defenders, just look at how many Japanese we destroyed here. Although they actually managed to destroy quite a lot of our men too. And they just have to outlast us. They don't really have to win the battle. Over here, for instance, this was a very even battle. Sure, they lost a lot of men, but we lost a ton. Look at this. So, you know, this was actually an extremely even battle just to take one tiny piece of land. It's not like they're not putting up a good fight. And here, they actually managed to put up an incredible fight with very, very few men. So these guys are, like I said before, they'll do anything they can to defend this island, even if they have to die. This is not the kind of enemy that's going to retreat easily, so I think each attack really needs to count here. We'll go ahead and continue with some attacks here, but we might actually have to wait till next turn to do anything significant. In the meantime, I'll try and attack this unit, but I want to bring in some support as well, so I'm going to see if we can bring this guy. Nope, we're going to have to wait a turn. Alright, let's end the turn. And remember, not being on the beach there, we're not getting the supplies we need. Okay, I believe it's going to be their turn. The Iwo Jima Defense Force. So they're definitely targeting our ships primarily, which kind of makes sense. Yeah, the bombardments were actually really effective. Ouch. Alright, some more reinforcements. I love that we keep getting reinforcements for this battle. We desperately need it. And as you can see, the first Iwo Jima airfield is captured. That's a huge plus for us. Board a ship. Okay, and some artillery as well. Okay, so if we're going to carry out an attack here, we want it to be a serious attack. So look at how many men we can send up. Let's see how this works. And we're basically trying to destroy the main force of Japanese on the island. At this point, our probability of success is excellent, but I want to even increase the casualties that the enemy is going to suffer. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in some more attack damage and just completely bomb this area on Charlie Dog Ridge. Do the same over here. Actually, no, we'll go ahead and carry it out against this unit. Come on, Marines! Your job's not done. I think this is going to be pretty successful, guys. And we do still have these Japanese to worry about, but look at that. They're actually beginning to run away very quickly. So I don't think they have a lot of fight left in them. We'll just mop them up here. Great work by the Marines there. And, ooh, maybe we can even get to the artillery. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. So sneaking behind the enemy lines and taking out that arty, that's going to help. Get some Marines forward. Unfortunately, he's a bit too tired to join the battle, but maybe he can join us later. Now, I'm not keeping anybody on Mount Suribachi, but I think you guys will agree that we've pretty much cleared this area out. I don't see any Japanese here. I think they're going to be in the northern part here, in the Bloody Gorge, the Meat Grinder, etc. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll end the turn. Come on, boys. Some really rough terrain to get through. It's all uphill. Okay, let's see how we did. Wow, really well, actually. So, check this out, guys. Almost completely destroyed the Iwo Jima Defense Force in that location. That's not particularly impressive. And once again, we still need to keep on pushing through, but the fact is we are destroying entire groups. We just need to keep that up. So I'm actually going to move these guys here, and I'm going to attack Charlie Dog Hill here. Major attack, actually. Let's go for it. Chance of success is fair. That's what we want to see. Chance of success is good, even better. And a lot of these are like mixed brigades, Kurabayashi's HQ. So actually the general, Kurabayashi's right there. Would probably be a good idea to try and take him out if we can. Also, let's see if we can get to Airfield 2. No, we're going to have to wait for Airfield 2. Yeah, I thought so. Here we go. Plan an attack with our Marines. Chance of success is very poor. What if we bring in some support? Will that change anything? I think it will. I have faith in my men. Kind of. We'll have to wait and see. Did we get new reinforcements? I don't think we did. Okay. Could also try to move some of these ships a little bit closer. I think that's probably going to be helpful. And we shall end the turn, guys. Ooh, the one thing I didn't do was attack with my Marines over here. Not good. Okay, 20% of our turn remains, and really effective attacks, as you can see here, land attacks, where we destroyed a number of Japanese. I mean, just look at this. So that's a very good sign. And amphibious nuclear attack, this can't be possible. Don't pay attention to that, guys. That's a war crime that wasn't discussed, I guess. That's definitely some sort of script error, because there's no way we launched a nuclear attack, as hilarious as that would be. Although somehow the game picked it up as a nuclear attack. It must have been a really good attack by our Marines. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here. And yeah, we're definitely going to have to wait till the end of this next turn. Let's go ahead and end the turn here. That was a very effective attack, though. Okay. So actually some pretty good attacks here by the Japanese as well. If we look, They actually managed to take out a number of our planes, and no ships this time, but they did a lot of damage here. Now, those planes will survive, but, you know, we have to spend a turn or two fixing them, and that's not something we really want to do right now. So we have to get to 362A. And Marine Storm Charlie Dog Ridge in hard fighting. That's what I like to see. Good work, boys. Now I'm going to move in this Marine unit. Actually, I could either go ahead and take out their artillery, or I could flank the enemy. I'm thinking the flank might be more useful here, but I can't help but attack the artillery. When I see arty, I want it dead quickly. Alright, let's try this. So now we can really attack from multiple angles. We're even using engineers for this attack. Okay, let's see what happens. Chance of success here is poor, but we're still pushing through, guys. See if we can add these guys to the fight. I think we can. We'll even send in the HQ. You might as well assist, I think. This is one of the few battles where I'm actually going to go ahead and send the HQ in with the guys for the touchdown, as I like to call it here. Let's go ahead and end the turn, and I think we can break through to the airfield. I will say one issue I have with this particular scenario is I think the colors need to be changed, since we're using essentially the same colors as the Japanese. I think the Japanese should probably have some sort of white background or something like that. Even a red background. Okay, beautiful. So look at that. In some areas here, 100% of the enemy was cleared out. Very good sign. In some areas, though, they're still holding on, but they're getting badly damaged. Let's plan an attack here. Putting in a ton of artillery units for this attack. We want to take that hill as well, and let's see if we can hit the airfield on this side. Wow, it's a lot of enemy units. But we've also got a lot of supporting fire. Join in on the attack here with this unit. And with the tank unit. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, but every little bit helps, I think. Well, let's send in some more Marines. Why not? Alright, wish us luck, guys. %, of our turn remains here. Some really good attacks. And I will be taking a look at the chat here, guys, pretty soon, but I've been so, enthralled by this particular map here that I'm so focused, it's kind of hard to jump into the chat and take a look at what you guys are saying. So I will jump in and take a look here in a second. But man, that was excellent. Just excellent attacks all around the board there. Of course, the enemy still has a pretty alarming presence in the north of the island. Okay, let's take a look here. Ooh, that's going to be fun. The Panzer Corps Multiplayer Championship. I might join. It's good to see everybody here. Wavel, Pixel, Beryl, Jet Stewart, of course. Good to see everybody. Alright, guys, let's jump back in here and see if we can finish up with a big win. So, I'm going to go ahead and take this Marine, or actually this HQ division, move that up a bit. And we're going to push on this hill right here. So again, I'm just slowly moving my units up. Some of the areas like the quarry would actually bring us some points, but I'm not really interested in going for them. Alright, ending the turn here. Now, I believe the entire actual Iwo Jima battle is 10 turns. It might be 20 turns. So that just goes to show you how each battle in this game really gives you so much replay value. It's almost just like a game in itself. And in fact, there are a number of companies out there that make games. I don't want to mention names, but you know, make games about single battles and do quite well. So you get a lot more opportunities here. And you can see the bombardment here from the Iwo Jima Defense Forces, the Japanese, really isn't doing anything to us at this point. You know, they're doing a little bit of damage, but here, for instance, they actually managed to lose some of their artillery pieces. I'm not sure how, but let's take a look. I guess they went for an attack, and one of their light rifle squads was taken out, trying to scout our position. But they got out of there pretty quickly. Okay, let's go for the hill. And once again, even the HQs are going to join in this attack, as well as every single one of these ships and bombers. Ooh, we might even be able to bring these guys in. Still not improving our chances, to be honest with you, but we've got to try. Come on, Marines. Now, over here, I have a little bit more confidence, but without any support, yeah, the chances are still going to be poor. So, this is the one situation where I might actually bring in some engineers just to increase our odds a little bit. Engineers really aren't made for fighting, or pioneer divisions in this case, but they can get the job done. And that actually brings our chances up to fair, so I think that's pretty worth it. Let's end the turn here. Beautiful. Well, at least some of them retreated. Okay, nice. Really nice, look at that. They did fight to the end, though. I must give that to them. I mean, they're so brave. They fought to the very last man, but they absolutely lost. Okay, let's see. Well, we can keep on moving forward, or we can just go ahead and claim these locations. I think that's the most important thing for now. But we don't want to give them any breathing room either. We want to basically attack really quickly. So, yeah, we'll go for this unit right here, and sure enough, crumbled right under our attack. But we might just have one turn where we just stay put and don't move. I'm also tempted to dig in, but that's just going to cause more work for our men, and we don't want that. Let's see if we can get rid of these guys. Beautiful. Chance of success is excellent. I'll bring in a few bombers just to increase the damage, but otherwise I don't even think that's necessary. Now here I'm definitely going to wait, so yeah, I'm not going to attack there. We need more support. Let's end the turn. Looks like we managed to push them back. Beautiful. No rounds left. Let's take a look there. I think that's where the attack was. Sure enough, we absolutely overran the Japanese. We may have even taken some prisoners, although I doubt that to be the case. And I think the next location we have to take is Kita. They're still hitting our units over there. Wow, so they've got some really good range on those artillery guns. They also have elevation, so that does sort of make sense. Alright, here they actually managed to do some pretty good attacks against the Air Force. As you can see here, they attacked the Air Force and managed to destroy some planes. Helldivers, Avengers, etc. So, yeah, it's they still have the capacity to do a counterattack, although I think we can hold off. Let's see. Okay, Task Force 58 begins to leave for Okinawa, so we've got more men arriving, and generals and admirals argue over departure. Yeah, we definitely can't leave yet. It would be a significant defeat because we still have a lot of locations to take here. So I'm going to go for Kita. I think that's going to be the main attack area, or defensive area for the enemy, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and do a major attack here with every single one of the men we can. Chance of success is still very poor. Wow. This is a tough location. Even with a lot of supporting fire. And they don't even have a lot of guys here, so they must have some pretty good defenses. See if we can add these guys to the fight as well. Why not? And let's attack this area too. Now here the probability of success is fair, so maybe the key is to break through here first and then assist with the attack in the west. We're not even getting any sort of supporting fire here, although we'll have the HQ fire some mortars into this area. Why not? I think that would be pretty useful. I don't really like leaving this unit out here, but once again, I think the main focus here should be to take out any enemy units in this area. So I'm going to kind of ignore it for now and hope he doesn't get behind us and take all of the points we've already taken control of. Let's end the turn. Okay, 50% of my turn remains. So here we go. Not bad. They did some really good damage against us. So this is a definite counterattack here, guys. This is what I'm talking about. You know, on Iwo Jima, as soon as you think the battle is over, they launch a massive attack and do some significant damage to your men, as you can see here. So it's moments like this that make you realize that this battle was absolute hell for the Marines on the island. That's really no exaggeration. I mean, it was a terrible, terrible, terrible place to be. So we have taken that location, but with the loss of a lot of life. And now we've got actually a division of Japanese here that are definitely worrying me. There's a lot of them, so I'm going to see if we can go ahead and wipe these guys out. I don't want them getting onto our flanks. And yeah, even here, chance of success is poor. We're definitely going to bring in some supporting fire, but it looks like that's exactly what they're trying to do. I'm even going to bring in this artillery and HQ fire, even though we're only getting 50% of it, because I just don't trust that unit. Okay, we need to get to Ginmesu. Once again, we might have to wait A few turns for that. And we'll attack over here too. The engineers have actually done a lot of fighting in this battle, and they've done a good job. So I see no reason why we shouldn't continue using them. And look at the amount of enemies defending this area. There's just so many of them. And it looks like actually an urban city tile here that we're going to be taking. So hopefully the people will be happy to be liberated. Of course, during World War II, a lot of Japanese civilians would actually kill themselves when the Americans were arriving because they thought that they would be, you know, murdered, essentially. Let's go ahead and end the turn. And hopefully we can take this urban area pretty soon. Not immediately. Nice. Okay, 20% of our turn remains, and some okay attacks. Again, we are having to fight for each inch of territory here. There's another airfield as well, and there's still the meat grinder area, which we're not really worrying about right now. I think we're going to go for the airfield. Let's plan an attack. So not many of our men can actually get through. I think I'm going to abort. 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 Yeah, there's just no reason to attack there. There's still locations we need to take, so actually waiting for the enemy to do their turn I think is the right call. Come on, HQs, get those supplies to your men. Alright, ending the turn here, guys. We're just going to play it safe this turn. No rounds left. There we go. Alright, not bad, actually, overall. We still did okay. Once again, another counterattack, and they're still getting some really good artillery strikes. It looks like we've got some enemies attacking us from the meat grinder. I knew that was going to be a problem, but I didn't know how long it was going to take to become a problem. And actually, there's still some pretty nice locations here with points that we should be taking. So the bombardments aren't doing any damage at this point. Okay, Motoyama has been reduced to ruins. So unfortunately, moving into the town, we were trying to save the people inside, and we've subsequently destroyed the town. The 5th Amphibious captured Motoyama, and progress by MacArthur in the Philippines. Okay. Let's keep moving. So we want to just wipe the enemy out at this point. Nice. And I am going to have to stop the enemy here, so I will send some units back to deal with the enemy at the meat grinder. There's not many of them, but it's actually going to be quite hard to get in here, and I think part of the reason is the terrain. We'll go ahead and send in some support as well, but I don't think they need much. Get our HQ into Motoyama. Want a nice Motoyama HQ for my general. And let's go ahead and send a bunch of guys in for the attack here. 3. Still the success is very poor. Even with the tank, really? Wow. Surprising. It's okay. What about over here? Success is poor. It's not terrible, so we're going to go for the attack, guys. We must take some risks, after all. Also going to take a risk over here by attacking the artillery piece. In fact, I'll plan an attack with some more Marines and some more engineers. And I think actually here our chance of success is excellent. It's really cool also that you see here that Tokyo is 650 miles away. Obviously, this is how far the Japanese were willing to go from Tokyo to defend this island, and also how far the Americans were willing to go from the U.S. to get to this island. I mean, they both really made a huge sacrifice. Let's end the turn. Nice. I think we moved them back, and look at that, 10. Wow. So the Bloody Gorge is worth, I think, the most during this battle. At least it seems so here. Okay, let's go. 70% of our turn remains. Nice. Good job, men. Not bad at all. Okay, first thing I want to do is grab the Bloody Gorge. Single unit move over here as well. Okay, I'm going to try to do this, and it's a very poor chance of success. Still going for it, though, because we've had that message before, and we've still managed to break through. Even if I have to use the HQ here, I'm going to attack this unit. I don't like this guy being in between our forces. So everybody focus fire. Nice. Chance of success is fair. And let's see what happens, guys. Nice retreat, and that was, of course, an armored unit. A group of armored units by the Japanese. And to be honest, the Japanese do not have the best armor. Again, you know, Japanese were really focused on war in Manchuria, and also some, you know, sort of Southeastern Asian countries where there was going to be a lot of jungle. So armor was really not their forte. Their forte was the Air Force, and, of course, the infantry units that they had. But their armor was pretty weak. Like the Hago tank, for instance, not the best tank in the world. Here we go. Excellent attacks once again, and that was just a major assault on either side. Although the Iwo Jima Defense Force managed to hold on to this location. And actually they lost no men at all, but managed to snipe a bunch of our own. Alright, so that's Kurobayashi's HQ. It's the general that orchestrated the Battle of Iwo Jima, or the defense of Iwo Jima, I should say. I think to attack his HQ, we're definitely gonna need more men. Essentially. Actually, we can take the HQ if we can just get one guy to move there, but no, we have to wait till the end of the turn. Which seems fair to me. Seems fair. Again, I want to win as quickly as possible. Let's take the quarry. Maybe we could attack this position. No, I think it's really best to just go ahead and abort. Cancel all units attack. Okay, as you can see, once again, they're stacking and doing some counterattacks. They've still got some artillery there. Even though it's right there on the coast of the beach, they do still have some artillery. Wow. We kept the battlefield possession here. They went for a major attack and lost every single rifle squad. Nice work. So right now, we're already at a significant victory, guys. If you look at the victory level, 41 of 90. Iwo declared secure. Some pockets of resistance hold out. President Roosevelt reportedly in ill health, and of course this is, just a few days, if I'm not mistaken, before President Roosevelt's death. The savagery of Iwo takes its toll on the Marines. So it's still savage fighting to the very end. Now, of course, we're going for Kurobayashi's HQ, but there's a lot of fighting to be done, and a lot of the defenders on this island didn't give up for weeks, just for a tremendous amount of time. Bringing some bombers here. But technically, we can call this a victory. Still want to take these locations, though, but a lot of our guys are either out of supply or need to wait for the actual turns to end to get or regain some of the supply. Alright, 50% of our turn remains. Come on, let's take the HQ. Ooh, nice attack. So Kurobayashi's HQ is officially under our control at this point. We'll keep attacking this unit, just kind of hanging out here in the open. Alright, bring in the bombers as well, why not? And I think I'll go ahead and end the turn. So I'm looking for an easy way in here, but really I think the easiest thing to do is just hold our positions. In fact, we could even end the scenario right now and get a victory. That's what we're going to go for. And U.S. victory. You have written a new and glorious chapter in Marine history. No one ever doubted it. Iwo Jima will now become the staging area for the next invasion, which is Okinawa. In addition, the landing fields serve as a heaven-sent refuge for crippled B-29 superfortresses unable to return to their home bases. Before the war is over, more air crewmen will be saved by landing on Iwo Jima than casualties suffered by the United States Marines in taking it. Wow, I didn't actually know that. That is a pretty cool fact. So anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and check out another battle. I am going to go and look at the chat screen here for a second because I've been avoiding you guys enough, but this was just such an awesome battle. I had to focus on it. And I want to try maybe one of the older battles we have here. We've got stuff like the American Revolution, for instance, that I really want to take a look at. We've also got hypothetical wars, although these can get a little bit complicated. So we'll have to see what you guys want to look at. We'll take a look at the chat. Happy New Year. Thank you, Audie. Yeah, Twitch really does take a very long time. Hey, how you doing, Dave? Good to see you, man. Yes, suicidal attack. Banzai, indeed. Oh, they really did. And you could see, even there at the end, I mean, even though it was a victory for us, the fact that they were still able to fight on, despite having almost no men left, really shows the bravery there of the defenders. I think it was one of the U.S.'s bloodiest battles, if I'm not mistaken. Ridiculous amount of casualties. Yeah, 1776 says Hudson Hawk. Alright, we will take a look at that. I think that's definitely an idea. Let's jump into it. So, the pre-World War I, and it's actually 1775, Call to Arms. And as you can see, this is, of course, the British against... Actually, this might be something different. Let's take a look here. Single row of sea hexes, yeah. So, victory is determined normally by the capture of cities with objective points, etc. So, France and Spain are also part of this particular war. Let's take a look here. Turns 1 month. I'm not looking at the amount of turns that the actual battle is, though. But I want to take a look anyway. So, British computer versus human player. Yes, that's what we want. So as you can see, not every single battle in the Operational Art of War 4 is modern or even semi-modern. You know, some are very old. In this case, the American Revolution. We've even got the colonial flag there. And of course, we've got British Quebec. Very cool stuff here. Okay, very cool. Here we go. Redcoats and militia clash near Boston. Colonies are declared in a state of rebellion. Wow, I want to do a Let's Play on this now. This is already looking really great. So as you can see, the actual map itself, this is from a very early version of Hearts of Iron, excuse me, of Wake Up Agrippa, of the Operational Art of War 4. And so, as you can see, the flags look a little bit older here, and so does the terrain. It doesn't look as nice as the more updated maps, but I honestly don't really care about that. My main concern is that it's an enjoyable experience. So as you can see here, the Redcoats have taken Lexington, and in this case, the Redcoats are the British. You know, to be perfectly honest, during the American Revolution, the country was really split down the middle. It wasn't like the movies lead you to believe, you know, everybody was against the British. It's actually pretty split down the middle. So I expect to see some loyalist brigades here as well. I also want to try and take Lexington back, but I'm not sure that's the best idea right now. We're going to need some men to assist if we want to take Lexington back. We've also got some units in Philadelphia, etc. We could start going south to Middleton, Alexandria, etc. And we're probably not going to play this entire scenario because it's quite a long one. But we can certainly try a few battles and see how we do. I don't think we can repel the British right now, but we're certainly going to try. Providence, Rhode Island. All right, let's move up. And let's attack here near Boston. All right, come on, boys. As you can see, the cooperation is 67. That's quite terrible cooperation. So you can imagine that, you know, another thing that is probably an issue here is there were no radios at this time period. Communication had to be done by courier, by horse. That's going to severely affect the cooperation between units. So that is going to be a major issue. And honestly, if I were actually playing this in a Let's Play setting, I would probably just defend. But I want to see how we do against the Redcoats. So let's end the turn. I also love the soundtrack. Oh, nice! That would not have happened that early in the war. Actually, yes, it would have, because look, we lost 50% of our men. 50% of our militia squad destroyed. But we managed to kill 6 British soldiers. And I think this is one of those few battles where the actual numbers are correctly represented, because this is probably just a group of 60 soldiers. The battles in the American Revolution, you know, they really didn't reach dramatic numbers. I think even some of the worst battles in the American Revolution would only get into the thousands, essentially. So it would absolutely make sense to have these skirmishes that, you know, likely were not as large as the actual battles. So I do want to go for Lexington and Concord. We already have Concord. Concord is the second battle in the Revolutionary War, and they might try to push us here and try and take Concord. So I'm just going to stay defensive and try and bring up some reinforcements if we have any. So we do have some over here, some Tryon County 2nd Battalion men. I don't know where Tryon County is. Let's get them to Bennington. Seems pretty far, but fair enough. Albany, of course, is the state capital of New York. So we could send them to Albany as well, but I think right now getting them as close as they can to the front is going to be a lot better. And I wonder if those are proper Continental infantry. And at Fort Edwards, we've got some more men. Beautiful. Bring them down to help defend Concord and Lexington. Go for it, men. Ooh, the Vermont Militia, the Green Mountain Boys. So the Green Mountain Boys, of course, very well known. When you see the movie Patriot, no, it's not based on a true story, but one of the characters is based off a skirmisher that actually managed to kill a lot of British officers. Let's take a look here. Probably New York City Boys. Alien Gold. He says, I'm a city boy. Ah, Dave Jiju. Yes, there's also a Civil War scenario, Dave. You're absolutely right, and it is awesome. But the Revolutionary War one here was really the one that interested me. Do I prefer Operation Art of War 4 or Gary Grigsby's system? Spearhead Gamers asking. Well, I mean, it's kind of apples and oranges because, you know, I like each for certain things. So, for instance, one thing I love about Gary Grigsby is sort of that feeling of actually being a commander and being in charge of every single tiny thing that goes on, which you can also do in the Operational Art of War 4. What I really love about the Operational Art of War 4 are the massive amount of wars, battles, etc. that you can get involved in when you play the game. I just think it's really cool. You can play just about any war from the mid 18th century forward. So I really like that. And also with the Operational Art of War 4, people are always adding stuff, which I also love. So I'm going to see if I can bring any more reinforcements. But yeah, I do love Gary Grigsby as well. It's really fun. I've had some of my most fun experiences playing Gary Grigsby. So we could keep some guys in the south to provide some defenses. And Philadelphia is not really the south, but as far as the colonies go right now, it kind of is. And this is actually New Jersey. So we've got a British garrison in Newark. And I definitely want to help take that out. And we've got some units in New York. New York actually had a lot of loyalists in it, as well as patriots, as it were. So I'm actually going to go ahead and... I don't think we should do this because we're leaving New York open, but I do want to attack Newark, which, as you can see, is right across the Hudson River. You can actually see it if you're in New York. So let's go ahead and order an attack on that garrison. And pretty soon I might order an attack on Lexington itself. But I think we're going to try to stay fairly passive. Although I will attack here just because we can hit them from multiple angles. Likelihood of success is very poor. We're also going to bring in some artillery. Oh, this is not a good idea. No, let's cancel all units attack. Yeah, if you notice that it's just not going to work out, don't try it. Where's Mel Gibson? We need some Mel Gibson power here. Inject him into the game, and that way we can get a few more units. They just instantly rout the enemy as soon as they attack. Alright, let's move this guy forward. Fort Oswego. Oh, that's way in the north. Okay. Getting close to Canada almost. And here at Fredericksburg, it's probably as far south as we can go. Got some militia. And Alexandria, Virginia, we've got another British garrison. Although I'm not sure if we should go for the attack. Then again, we've only got one unit here. We should try. That would be a major win for us there. And I will end the turn. Nice, the fort of Newark has been liberated. Now, not without casualties. It looks like the only place where we actually managed to do well was with the American New York militia. And we attacked the actual Newark fort here and managed to destroy a few musket squads, but that's really our best attack. Otherwise, we got massacred. So, for instance, over here, look at how many militia men we lost, and we only managed to kill 6 members, or 5 members of a British musket squad, and disabled 1, so basically wounded 1. And those numbers are pretty much make sense at the time period. Remember, the Americans were facing a professional army. They had mostly militia with no military training or very little military training. If they were lucky, they would get some guys that fought in the French and Indian Wars. And it was only as the war continued that they started to have the actual colonial militia, things like that. So I am going to keep chasing that garrison. We might as well get rid of them. But we probably want to bring these guys north to assist in the defense of Lexington and Concord. We know that's where the British are probably going to go next. So I'm also going to see if we can bring some reinforcements, but we might have to wait a turn or two. It's okay. Let's go ahead and do it. There we go. That's going to be the British turn. I'm almost certain that they're going to try to push towards Concord at this point. Because the Americans actually had quite a lot of weapons stored at Concord. So far, this is a draw, funny enough. Redcoats and militia clash near Boston. Colonies are declared in a state of rebellion. The British successfully defend Alexandria. Newark has been reduced to ruins. The Americans capture Newark, and provincial governments convene to raise militias. So it's provincial governments, and of course that's each individual state would raise a certain amount of men, some more than others, really depended. So I'm going to bring these guys, I'm going to try another attack on Lexington to retake it. Lexington is ours. Okay, probability of success is very poor. Nope, never mind. We should abort. At this point, I think digging in is actually probably the best thing we can do. So we'll dig in here and just basically force the British to have to attack if they want to escape here. They can't go around us. They actually have to attack. I think that's going to improve our chances slightly. Probably not by much. And we're also bringing in some New Hampshire militia there. As you can see now, we're starting to get a lot more militia units. We'll go ahead and move these guys forward as well. We just want to hold the British here at Boston Harbor and keep them stuck. Keep them immobile, essentially. Entire group. I am going to destroy bridges as well. And we'll keep bringing up the rest of the militia guys. Got some Minutemen here. Now, the reason that they were called Minutemen, people sometimes mistakenly believe that it has to do with it took them a minute to load their rifles. If it took them a minute to load their muskets, they wouldn't be very good Minutemen. But basically, the Minutemen thing was just that they were supposed to be ready within a minute's notice. So as soon as they were warned, hey, we need to go, boom. Get up, get out of bed, and head to the battlefield. And that's exactly what we're doing with them right now. It's good to see that we got all of the support. And hopefully this will cause some damage to the British. Once again, the British are not expecting heavy casualties, and they shouldn't have many casualties, truth be told. What's this? Oh, is this a guerrilla force? Indian forces. Very cool at Stockbridge. So let's bring the Indian forces forward as well. They know the terrain much better than we do. And let's go for Amboy. Okay, so there's another enemy garrison here. I think I want to wipe out all of these garrisons so we don't have to worry about any sort of landing. It would make it very easy for them to land with locations like this, ports under their control. So let's attack. And in these kinds of situations, we're going to take a lot of casualties for very little gain, but the fact is we just can't have their ports, around. It's not going to help us win the war. Any more men? Yes, we do. Fort George. I want to see how the British are going to break out of this one. Let's take a look here at the chat. What do you guys think so far of the Revolutionary War mod? Or I should say the Revolutionary War addition to the game, really, no mod. Hey, Sergeant, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Tom Lo Shang, good to see you. I think you're a new face. Let's take a look. Alright, I'm ending the turn. Nice, we've taken Amboy. Okay, we actually did pretty well on this attack. Still lost a lot of men, but got rid of that particular problem. Got some more guys over here. I'm going to bring them over. Actually, I think we're going to have to wait. Oh, no, wait. Wait a minute. we can probably move them up here at least. It's better than nothing. You guys are coming from upstate New York just to participate in what could be a major battle. I really want it to be the British turn because I want to see what they're going to do. And up here in the north, it looks like we've got some more Indian troops that are willing to join us. Why not? Up here in Maine. So some of the Native American tribes would join the English, some would join the Americans. It really depended, of course, on what their loyalties were, what they expected from either side. We'll move them in as well. And I think we'll end the turn, and I really just want the enemy to attack at this point. In fact, I'm going to dig in with our Indian troops as well. And end the turn. Okay, there we go. So they definitely ordered us back over here. I can't wait to see what the casualties are going to be like. But don't be surprised if they're pretty severe. And they are getting to Concord, which is exactly how far the British got initially anyway. So, yeah, they're definitely pushing us off the beaches without any doubt. I think our losses are going to be pretty severe. Wow. Her Majesty's Army, His Majesty's Army, I should say, doing a great job. Oh my goodness, they've scattered us completely here. Oh, I can't wait to see the results of these actions. I'm hoping we at least killed 100 British soldiers. That would be slightly positive, but no, I think we've just lost all of the men here. So they've taken Concord for sure, or about to anyway. We're doing a little bit of damage. Okay, let's see here. So friendly loss here reflects the British loss, whereas enemy loss reflects our loss. So as you can see here, we lost 10 men in our militia squad, but we managed to kill 7 British musket squad members, and they're much better trained than we are. But for instance here, they really did a lot of damage to our militia squad. We still managed to do some damage to them, but overall, a lot of victories here. Not overwhelming victories, actually. But still, they've scattered us completely, and we need to reform. In fact, we could technically reform around Concord there. Alright, Amboy has been reduced to ruins. Americans capture Amboy, and Americans successfully defend Concord. And Parliament dispatches reinforcements for General Gage. It's the British commander. So actually, we did defend Concord. It's still in our hands. The Battle of Concord, was actually a loss for the Americans, historically speaking. So the fact that we defended it, I think that's kind of cool. I know we're not going to be able to defend it forever, but hey, for a little bit, not bad. Now, of course, I'm going to move these guys behind the lines. Let's get this guy over here. Oh, we took a little bit of cannon shot there. So I'm basically trying to reform the line over here, and we're going to have to do that behind the enemy, of course. Because right now they're flanking us. I'd love to just make a run for Boston. I might try to do that. I didn't expect they were going to allow us to get away with that. Alright, let's go back to Lexington. Ooh! American Palmer's engaged. Wait, oh, I should have read that message. I think one of our commanders was hit. Palmer, yes! My goodness, so we just lost an actual very important commander here in the war. Just hit by artillery shell. I hope he's not dead, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was. Of course, we'll dig in with the entire group. And from Springfield here, Hugh Simpson's jokes. We can move in with this unit. We can bring this unit in as well. Providence, Rhode Island. I'm going to try to get behind the enemy here. But I'm not really going to make any attacks. I don't see the point right now, at least. Alright, Newport, Connecticut. So actually, we could try to surround the enemy. So a lot of troops here from Connecticut, and hopefully we can use them to attack this unit and do a pretty good job. I'm going to go for the attack this time, just because these guys seem to sort of be cut off from the rest of their army. Oh, interesting, though. We can't take any more of the men with us. I'm not sure why. We should be able to attack, but the cooperation is good, and the chance of success is only poor, which is not too bad. I'm going for it. End the turn. Oh, 54% loss on our side, guys. 91 men dead, and we only killed 3 British. That was a massacre. Let's take a look here at the chat. Yeah, it's not the best law to live by. Pixel says, Revolutionary War scenario looks like fun. I really like it. When are we going to get a command stream out of you? That's a good question. It's going to be a while. Alright, let's take a look here. Yeah, this is definitely a tough fight. Really nice map, though. I love the way the map's set up. I mean, you can really see, like, each individual town. There's New Haven, Connecticut right there. You can see all of the areas here that were instrumental, of course, in the American Revolution. We see each borough of New York as well, which I really think is cool. We've got Manhattan. We've got, we've got Brooklyn over here. Unfortunately, we don't have Queens, although I don't think Queens was Queens yet. And Astoria, this is hilarious, guys. This is actually where I lived for most of my life. Now, they put Astoria right here. This is totally wrong. Astoria is actually probably somewhere over here where my arrow is pointing, because Long Island City encompasses this entire area. But this is Astoria right here, and this is Long Island, which is not Long Island City. So they made a little mistake there, but it's a funny mistake anyway. So let's keep on moving. I think we're going to move north. I'm just hoping they don't land any naval units. Well, hopefully there's only one location where the British can land, and certain scenarios have penalties like that anyway. Like, for instance, on Iwo Jima, we could only land on those 2 tiles. Stuff like that definitely has to play a part in these games. And guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get out of this and show you guys another scenario. Although if you guys want us to save this one, I certainly will. But again, I really want to show you as much as I can. Lancaster, Virginia. That's cotton country. Let's go here. Alright, I'm going for an attack. I know better, but I can't help myself. Liberty, boys! Oh, actually, chance of success is fair. That would be really cool if we actually got a significant attack here against the British. Show them that we're not complete pushovers. In fact, I'm going to assist here with this unit. Ooh, chance of success is excellent. Maybe this is our first successful attack against the British. Let's see. It's a very swampy area here, too, so that's actually a great place to ambush an enemy unit. Not bad, actually. Look at that. So, this is General Gage, General Chase, and you can actually see specifically what happened. I love that. It looks like a lot of our American militia units evaporates, and what evaporates means here is they simply, they run away from the battlefield. So let's see. We actually killed 22 British soldiers. We lost a lot of men, but 22 is so far the best the best shooting we've done against the British. I mean, 22 casualties for them. I think they're probably starting to think like, oh, these Americans are they're kind of tough. Although Obviously, they killed a lot more of us, but 22 is a nice number. If we keep attacking that unit, we would obviously wipe them out. And I think even with their attacks here, they're going to be losing some men. Taking Boston, of course, would be key. If we take that, they get no supplies at all. Oh, no slits to use. Oh man, they're going for every single colonial they can find. Look at that, guys. Oh, the only place that the British actually did really poorly was right here. They lost 14 men in their musket squad and only killed 2 of our militia. And actually, no, they didn't. They actually did poorly in a few other locations here. Like, for instance, here, they lost 26% of their attackers, 5 men out of 19, and killed 5 of ours. So things are pretty even, but like locations like here, for instance, they completely wiped out 45 men. Some are probably prisoner, and they really didn't lose too many. But yeah, not a victory every single place they attacked. There are a lot of locations here where they took some serious damage. So, you know, there's absolutely still a chance to win. And I love that the Continental Congress keeps raising these units all over the map. That really helps. And really, you know, makes the game even more entertaining. Because one of the things that, of course, the Americans needed, besides, of course, you know, more soldiers, was new uniforms, better weapons, etc. And each state had to essentially agree to send a certain amount of, you know, material, men, etc. And, you know, that could probably, you know, that those disagreements that people have, they could really be troublesome in a situation like that. It could take a long time to come to an agreement. So here we go. We're going to do another attack against the 1st Brigade. Last time we took 22 of them down. Let's see if we can totally wipe them out this time. We also got some irregular troops here. So we're attacking from multiple locations. Alright, come on, boys. Here I'm going to go ahead and dig in with the entire group. And we've got some more men on the way, so here we go. Let's bring them to the battle. In fact, we could have them join this attack, but I don't think we need to. As long as we can keep the British back. Now, the British eventually take, during the real American Revolution, they eventually take the city of New York, as well as a few other locations here on the map, which amazes me. So if we can hold them off from taking New York, and obviously this is a very long campaign, so I think that would be difficult, but that would in itself be a massive accomplishment. But I think what they're going to do is they're probably going to land behind us to take New York, if I'm not mistaken. I'm also, by the way, going to attack the units here. But first, let me see if we can bring in some reinforcements. Oh, yeah. So we're carrying out 2 major attacks on the British. And in both situations, they're either in a bad location, like right here, where he's in the marshland, or we have more men than they do. So I'm hoping that that's enough to get a victory. Alright, here we go. We just have to show them that we mean business and that we're capable of defending ourselves. Run back to General Gage now. Here, I love it. They're totally surrounded. I still think they're going to be able to hold us off, and they're probably dug in, but... Oh, no! I think we just destroyed an entire unit there. Awesome. Let's take a look here. Oh, yes, we did, guys. So, as you can see, things can only get better from here. 30 British soldiers down. Those are numbers that are going to get back to the king. And here, there were only 2 British soldiers plus siege artillery, so it's not a huge victory. Here, though, taking out 10 British soldiers and wounding a bunch of others. We lost some of our Indian war parties, but overall, I think we're doing okay. And Concord and Lexington are still in our hands. This is actually looking really good for us. If you guys look at the map here, we're doing extremely well against the British. So if we keep this up, who knows? Who knows? Very close. Very close to... I know he was probably going to go for the 10,000 slits too, but nope. Close but no cigar, as they say. Alright guys, I am going to save this one. I really love this scenario, and we're doing pretty well. But I'm going to take a look at one more scenario for you guys. So if anybody wants to go ahead and give some suggestions, I'm going to go ahead and actually open up the Begin New Game button here. And we'll take a look at one of the theaters. So if you guys want to look at the theaters here, just type them in the chat, and we'll try and decide kind of which one we're going to focus on. They're all pretty interesting, but, select one. We'll jump into that. We'll take a look at the battles, and we'll give you guys a first look here at some of these scenarios. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. Actually 1 minute, and I'll be right back. But let's see if anybody can choose one of these scenarios. Alright, let's see if you guys have selected anything here. Okay, so I think we'll take a look at maybe another one of these pre-World War I scenarios. And the one I'm going to look at, first of all, the Balkan conflicts are really, really cool. And if you like body counts, yeah, World War I is great, but the Balkan Wars, slightly pre-World War I, are incredibly vicious. Bulgaria, Greece, Serbia, Montenegro against the Turks, Austria-Hungary, Romania, Britain. It's just incredible. Of course, you got the Battle of Shiloh. Dave Zizou mentioned this, that you could play the American Civil War. So in this particular scenario, we're going to go ahead and play as the Confederacy. The Confederacy. Against the Union, just so you guys can see the battle itself. And really the goal here is to show you guys that, hey, if you got some modding abilities, you absolutely could, make some of these scenarios yourself, some pre-World War I stuff. I'd love to see it. So, of course, here we're playing as Confederacy. I love the way the Confederacy looks here. and we actually deliver 10% shock because we're doing a surprise attack here. And they've really gone into detail to show every single unit here. One led by Claiborne, the second corps led by Claiborne, Wood. These are all well-known Confederate generals, Shaver as well. And we basically move forward with the attack here at Shiloh. Now, Shiloh was a Union victory, but not an easy Union victory. So this just kind of goes to show you the different kind of battles you can have in the game itself. I want to get into that cover. Come on, boys. And again, if anybody has any requests for battles or wars to look at, just let me know in the comments. And before we end the stream, we'll jump in and take a look. Why not? So yeah, in this scenario, I would initially just move these men forward. Not a lot of movement here. There we go. Could be the woods that's causing the trouble there. And that's Brigadier General Ruggles. I am ashamed to admit I'm not familiar with Brigadier General Ruggles. So I guess I'm more familiar with the Corps commanders, the, not even the Corps commanders, the regular 1-star, 2-star generals. The Brigadier generals, basically. I'm recognizing them. And we definitely want to bring some reinforcements. Okay, I like that. I'm going to end the turn. I want to see if the Union's going to show up soon, or if we actually have to make it to them. I think we have to make it to them, but we'll have to wait and see. Oh yeah, we're going to have to walk to them, and they're going to be there in the southeastern portion of the map. And we got some reinforcements. Wonderful. Let's take a look here at the chat, see if anybody had any suggestions. Ouch! At least he didn't bet everything. Alright, let's keep moving. So, of course, this is a look at the American Civil War. I want to go ahead and show you guys another one before we end the stream here. So let's open up the new game mode. And this time we're going to get away from pre-World War I, although there's other stuff here from the American Civil War, like Jackson's Angels. We've also got stuff Korea versus Manchuria. And this is, of course, early on when Japan was actually taking parts of Manchuria as early as in 1904, 1905. And also the Great Battle of Waterloo. Although for this, I would recommend Scourge of War Waterloo, what we were playing yesterday, basically. But this is also pretty cool. All right, so I want to go into the modern Asia. This is always my favorite. There's just so much here. Dien Bien Phu playing as the French, of course, to hold the airfield. And this is really when the French realized that they were going to be completely destroyed by the Viet Minh. We've also got the Boonie Rats. So this is the full Vietnam scenario, the entire Vietnam War from start to finish, if you want to play as the Americans. So Free World Force is the computer. The Communist Forces would be the computer here. So I want to take a look. And this is a huge, huge scenario. This could really take weeks to play. It's just a massive scenario, but it really allows you to control the Americans. You know, it's completely up to you how you play. I actually want to see if we can find the location where my father was stationed in Toi Hoa, which is going to be closer to the coast and closer to the south. So let me see if I can find it. America begins to send troops to Vietnam. U.S. Marines land in Vietnam. U.S. starts Operation Rolling Thunder, the air war against North Vietnam. One thing I love about the game are the news summaries. They're just so fun to read. And of course, Da Nang, this right here is a main American base. As you can see, there's a lot of ARVN units. ARVN, it's basically the Republic of South Vietnam. So they are on our side throughout this conflict. And Route 1, my dad actually helped build that. Toi Hoa would be close. Look at that, guys. There it is. That's where my dad was stationed during the war, Toi Hoa. That is pretty cool. So, right there near the beach. Now, sometimes him and his friends would try to go to the beach to swim, but not exactly recommended. There are quite a few sharks in this general area. That being said, that's really, really cool. So you start off, at the very beginning of the war, and this is when the Americans were just starting to send in troops. Right now the Americans have a lot of units in country, but these units are essentially, observational units. They're here to help train the forces here. And as you can see, look at this. The CTZ groups, I'm guessing these are irregulars working for the Americans and the South Vietnamese. We spotted a unit here, but we can't see them. We can see that there's a guerrilla unit, but we can't actually see the unit itself. And that's because with guerrilla units, there's a recon element, and we're not meeting that recon element. So if we attack, we're totally taking our lives into our hands. I'm going to go for the attack just to see what happens. But we have no idea what's going to happen. I'm going to bring in a lot of air support. In fact, a lot of these planes, the teal ones are the South Vietnamese Air Force, and the green ones are the American Air Force. Let's go for it. I just want to see what happens. So initially, losing control is quite easy. You need to start reacting to the enemy troops very quickly, and since they're guerrilla units, we've actually got to go and look for them. Ooh, interesting. We've got actual HQs here that the VC use. Alright, let's send in the Airborne Brigade. Send in some irregulars. I want to try to take out this VCHQ. For those of you that don't know what VC stands for, that's Viet Cong HQ. What's this? Now, why can I attack? Oh, okay. Guess I can't get to the battlefield yet. These are all airborne brigades, 2nd Airborne Brigade, etc. I'm not sure if these are American forces or just ARVN forces. They could be Americans. Let's go ahead and plan an attack. Success is very poor. Bring in some air support. And I wouldn't expect a VC base to be poorly guarded, so... Oh, look at that. Artillery. Nice. Just took out some Viet Cong artillery. And we're actually in Cambodia over here. We're not supposed to be fighting in Cambodia, but the Americans and the South Vietnamese would regularly move through this area. So would the North Vietnamese, because part of the Ho Chi Minh Trail, basically the supply line of the North, would be moving through Cambodia. It made it a lot harder for the Americans to get direct hits. Let's put it that way. So we'll see what happens there. I'm not going to make any other moves, but I just wanted to show you guys the scope. I mean, you've got the entire map of South Vietnam here, and some of North Vietnam, just the beginning, though. So just like the Vietnam War, you are restricted by the fact that you can't move into North Vietnam. The best we can do is be in these areas over here to fight the enemy. Let's go ahead and end the turn, because I want to see how these attacks went. That's the attack against the mountain guerrilla units, and it looks like they retreated, so we may have gotten some pretty good kills here. We'll have to see. And that's the VCHQ. Pretty sure they held out against our attack. Oh, nice. Let's see how it went, guys. So really, really nice explanation here of each and every unit. Free World Force. I would assume that could be Americans. So here, as you can see, we've destroyed quite a lot of enemy material, but they've destroyed quite a lot of our material. And if we're going by the flags, then these would have to be, of course, South Vietnamese units. But stuff like Hellcats, for instance, we wouldn't have given this to the South Vietnamese. Probably is an American bird that's working with them at the moment. A little bit of contracting work, as we like to call it. So I'm guessing the black represents the VC and the red would represent the North Vietnamese army. The VC are not a trained force. They're basically peasants with guns. The North Vietnamese army are a trained army. So, of course, that would be a lot tougher. But yeah, the whole goal of this entire campaign is to hold this location, and it's totally up to you. You're going to be getting reinforcements, throughout the battle. You're going to be getting news updates, etc. Depending on how you do, you might get more reinforcements or less. So you've got to keep all this stuff in mind. Right now, we're still waiting for the Americans to land, but it really shows you the scope of this game. Alright guys, well, we are going to be ending the stream here. I want to remind you guys that tomorrow is the user choice stream. So if you guys would please go ahead and put your choice down below. Really appreciate that. Or actually just select it from the voting system that we have, the poll. Muso, if you could drop that poll, that would be awesome. And we will, of course, be playing that game tomorrow, guys, for your enjoyment. Hope you like taking a look at those extra battles, of course, in game. I really, really like the additional battles, not just focusing on World War II, but all the other wars. And for me, that's the buying power of the Operational Art of War. That's why I would purchase it. Just the massive amount of content in the game itself. Thanks again for watching, guys. Take care and have an awesome, awesome day. Thank you, Dave.